Dear Elizabeth, my name is Keon Benton, and I'm from the downtown section of Elizabeth, New Jersey. Some say the gang culture doesn't exist in Elizabeth, but for those who live their everyday life in Elizabeth, knows that the gang culture truly exists. Everyone watching this docu-series, especially the teenagers, I hope and pray that you are listening and able to learn something from this story, because this project was put together for you. Now, meet Miss Judy Betts, a mother, a role model, and someone who actually saved my life one day while we were working. She lost her son Jiahad Chapman to gun violence a few years back. I was able to interview Miss Betts about her tragic loss. Take a listen.
Well, my name is Judy Betts. I live here in Elizabeth. Jihad personality, he was a silly kid. He was a plaything, he loved joking, he loved family. He was a family kid, family orientated. Wasn't nothing that Jihad didn't have that he didn't want to give to the next person. Jihad went to the elementary schools here in Elizabeth. He went to school one. Graduated from school one, went to Cleveland. He went to Somerset Academy because he started acting out when he turned, I want to say, 14. So he started acting out in school, so they had wanted to transfer him out of district, but still it wasn't nothing that they would write home and say, he got to get out this school. It wasn't none of that. It was just that he was doing things that he shouldn't have been doing. Playing basketball, playing the video games. He loved music. Again, he loved family. He loved to be with family. Like, so the family would always have a get together, and he'd be there and dancing and like the class clown. He looked up to, I would say, two people. He admired Bourne. His name is Darryl Hall. He looked up to him as a mentor. He admired him because, you know, Darryl would keep him in check, basically, or he can go to him and, you know, be able to talk to him about anything that, you know, going on.
To further the conversation, I asked, was Jihad gang affiliated?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes, he was. I was told Jihad was a Hoover. Did I want him to be in a gang? No, of course not. When I heard that he was in a gang, it broke my heart, but I couldn't go and grab him out of it because he's already in there. Once you get in, you can't get out. No matter how many times I might have tried to keep him in the house or talk to him and let him know that the gang life wasn't the life, he still was in a gang, you know. But they always say when you in a gang, either you active or inactive. Well, I'm gonna tell you about Jihad. He wasn't an active gang member, right? He wasn't on somebody's corner selling drugs. He wasn't stealing nobody's cars. He wasn't doing those things. I always tell him, out of sight, out of mind. Nobody can make you do something if you're not present. So what I found out about Jihad after his transition was that he always would get beat up. And I never knew why he would get beat up. And I found out that he was being disciplined because he wasn't following their rules. What does that tell you about a person when they're in a gang? That means that they're not an active gang member. So I didn't know these things until after he transitioned. Once I found out, I'm like, wait a minute. So that's why he had his arm all messed up or had a black eye, what was happening. And to me, it's a good thing for me because that shows that he wasn't active gang, wasn't doing those things that they wanted him to do. So they had to do that to him. Did I like it? No. Just for me knowing that he wasn't following their rules, it makes me feel good. I don't know what made him get into it, but I tell you what, when he found out that he couldn't be a gang member and be Muslim at the same time, he realized I can't be in the gang and be Muslim at the same time. Pulling himself away slowly but surely. But you already know when you start doing different, something always happens. Never said it to me. Even one time when I came in the house and I seen that he had a black eye, me being the mother and who I am, I'm getting ready to go get whoever did this to my son. But when I was told that this wasn't some random person that came up to him and they just fought on Broad Street, whatever the case may be, when I found out that he had got jumped in to the gang, that's I'm like, jumped in? What are you talking about, jumped into a gang? Like, what are you talking about? And he explained to me that he got into the gang. He got into it because his friends was in it. I said, well, what kind of friends you got? I don't want friends that I got to get in something that they in and I don't want to be in it. So I guess once he realized what it was like, dang, I don't even want to be in it. He started doing stuff different. He started staying in the house, start being a loner. If you're on social media, people will know that you're on there. So that means that they can hit you up and be like, hey, meet me. He had to back away from that as well. So he started being in the house more or start playing around the house, like in his own area. So he started moving different. So when I seen the movement different, that's when I'm like, okay, all right, so that means that Jihad, he don't want to be in this. But like I said, you're going to be dead. You can't get out the game. So it was like, all right, so what do we do from here? And by the time you figure out what do you do from here, here it is.
October 19th, 2014.
That day, it was on a Saturday. Jihad got killed early Sunday morning. On a Saturday, I was in the house and Jihad was leaving out with his girlfriend. She was going to get her nails and stuff done and he was going with her. We gave each other the salams as he's leaving out and I'm coming in. And I was like, let him know I'm going to do a fashion show that night with the sisters. So I was excited about that because I was like, I'm going to take all these pictures when I get home. I'm going to show Jihad. Because I was already walking through the house back and forth so he could see how I'm walking. Am I walking right? Do I walk like this? We entertain each other, to see what it is. Did I have a feeling that day? Not at all. Even with that night when I left from the fashion show, I was talking about Jihad, like, oh, when I get home, I'm going to show him these pictures. Then I was like, I'm going to my sister's house that night because we going to the cancer walk that Sunday morning. So I'm like, I'm going to stay at her house. And in the morning when I go home, I'll show Jihad the pictures. So it wasn't no signs that I feel it, not at all, nothing weird, nothing. I mean, it was just a regular day. It wasn't like nothing. Like I didn't have a feeling, that gut feeling in your stomach start turning. None of that. I didn't feel none of that.
So I asked Miss Bess, what happened?
Well, there's so many stories. So I can write a book on them stories. Well, the first story was the Haitians did it. It was mistaken identity. Then it was he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like it was just so many stories. Do I know what happened? No, I don't. Do I wish that they catch the person? Yes, I do. They haven't caught him yet. So whoever he is, I always pray for the person to turn himself in. I forgave the person. I don't even know him for any wrongdoing that he have done to my son. And if my son had harmed him in any kind of way, I want him to forgive my son. So that right there just took me far. It wasn't easy. I had to remain humble throughout all of that, even walk through the streets because as you can see, everybody knows everybody, right? And they can sit in your face all day long and tell you that they don't know nothing, but they know more than what you think they know. So you have to remove yourself from them. I try to stay in my own space because I think if I allow somebody like to even pinch in my little bubble, it'll be toxic. I think because of all the stuff that I have built up in me, I will hurt somebody. I stay away from it. I try to be a loner and be out and talking and trying to have meetings and stuff like that. That's positive. You know, I just want the person caught or whoever did it, whoever had anything to do with it. So just for them to come in and just say, you know what, maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. Maybe they didn't mean to do it. I don't know. Who knows? But the bottom line is my son is not here. Okay, his life was taken. Jihad left here. He had 3 girls. He died on his daughter's birthday, her 3rd birthday. So, you know, every time she has a birthday, what we doing? In remembrance of Jihad as well. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to none of his kids. To even think that, you know, like, Dad, my dad is not here.
How has things been for you and the family?
It's been crazy. Let me see. It haven't been easy. You know how you try to block stuff as if it didn't happen, and then you realize it happened? That's where I'm at. I often think that Jihad is incarcerated, and I'm just waiting for him to get out. Is he incarcerated? No. My kids go through it. My mom, my sisters. It took a toll on us because this never happened in our family with nobody. Everybody that passed in our family were older. Like they lived their lives. Like they was sick, like my grandparents, like my aunt, like my uncle. They were sick. So they're like 60 and over. So this was a shocker. I think this one just, you know, pushed us over the bridge. But you take it one day at a time. I had to go to counseling. My kids had to go to counseling because it was serious. When you think it ain't. You know, people think, you know, you gotta be white to be in counseling. Ain't no shame in my game. If I need it, I'm there. If I need to talk to that white lady, I'm talking to her. Because guess what? I need my sanity. So I talk. So sometimes I be at work and I can just be meeting my coworker. Don't know him. I probably talk to him like 2 or 3 times. And before you know it, I'm sitting there talking about my son. And it's because I need to get it out. So if I don't talk about it, it's bottled up. So I sit and they be like, oh, wow, Miss Judy, you're so strong. And I'm just sitting there saying to myself, I am? Like, do you think that it makes me stronger? I be talking about it? Maybe it does. Maybe it does. But I know it helps me to get it out, not to hold it in. And the more I talk about him, the better I feel. So I talk about him.
Was there any support from the city of Elizabeth?
The city was great. They was excellent. They Krishna Garlic was excellent. Patricia Perkins, the Mayor Baldwin, they was perfect. I didn't have no problems with them whatsoever. They all reached out. Councilman Carlos, Torres, James Carey, Salam Ishmael, they were excellent. They definitely stepped up. They definitely was great to me and my family. We had, I had spoke to Krishna a couple of times, and she had set up for us to have grieving counseling at Anna Street, like the Steve Sampson Center. Great for us. We did 2 sessions there. So it was like whoever needed to come and, meet with, they had a counselor there, a certified counselor there. She was excellent. When I tell you they were good. And they still good. Every time I run into them, they always making sure, are you okay? How's everything? People don't forget you when you do good. So I appreciate all the support that I have gotten from them, and as well as my family too.
Is there a proud moment about Jihad that you would like to share?
First proud moment was Jihad having a baby. He had a daughter, and I was very happy, even though my daughter was the first one to give me a grandson. But Jihad being the baby boy and living in the household with me was like, oh wow, Jihad, making me a grandmother. But it was like something about this little girl. And we shared that. At first I didn't want him to have a baby because he wasn't ready for one. I want him to do more. I want him to do different. But what can I do? I can't say, oh, that baby can't come here. But we took it on, and so that was like one of the proudest moments right there. And then I think when Jihad went back to school, and he was like, "Mom, I'm going back to school to get my GED," and I was like, "Shut up." He was like, "Mom, you gotta start working with these kids." I know, we'd be laughing and stuff, but yeah, that was another one. And I think the last one was when I had converted over to Islam. That was like another proud moment with me and Jihad, because he was already Muslim. And when I converted over, that was like, oh man, like alhamdulillah. Oh man, like the house is complete. He was excited about that. Like we get to pray together. We was fasting together. So that was something that, we needed, that made us closer. So it all it did was just strengthen our bond. It was like on Fridays it's time for Juma, and I'd be like, Jihad, you want Juma? Let's go. Come on, let's X, Y, Z. I'm at work. I'm gonna meet you there. I'm around the corner. So it was good for us to keep each other on the toes.
Why do you think the gun violence continues in Elizabeth?
I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing because that's what's wrong. All these closed mouths, all these unsolved murders, and these people know about these things. That's why they're having all the hard luck, because they know stuff and won't tell. Not just about mines, but about a whole lot of murders that's been going on that they don't want to talk about, that they don't want to go tell because their cousin might have had something to do with it, or their brother, or their sister, or their uncle, their father. Who knows? But the thing is, if you know about it, tell it. You ain't got to tell me. Go to the police department. Tell them. I don't need to know what it is. I can find out from them. But that's the problem. Nobody wants to speak up on nothing until they knock on their door. When they knock on their door, they want to run to you and ask you some stuff. You can't do that. But that's what they do. They close their door because they knock at their door. Did I expect this to be at my door? Not at all. Did I ever think about? Not at all. Never in a million years I would have thought that my son would be dead from a gunshot. Somebody took his life. Never, 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 never in my thoughts did I thought about that. Nobody wants this. This is something that I would never wish on no one. And I don't even have any worse enemies or nothing like that. But I wouldn't wish it on anyone because the pain is unbearable. Some people, I know people that's on medication because they can't deal with this. They can't deal with it. I thank God that I'm not on medication because I can't deal with it. Like I said, my coping skills, me talking about it, me doing positive things, me keeping myself active. That's what gets me through it. And two, I didn't see Jihad on the ground. I didn't see none of that. Him in the hospital, I didn't see none of that. I didn't see that. When I seen Jihad, he had a sheet over him. I couldn't even tell you if that was him or not. That could have been somebody else. Who knows? But I didn't see that. Parents, they seen their kids laying there on the grounds or on the gurneys or whatever. They seen all that stuff. That image will never leave them. My image of Jihad was when I went to go get him buried. He came into this world when he was born. He was naked, right? When he went in that nursery, he was wrapped up in a blanket, right? When he left here, he was the same way. So you tell me, that was a blessing. That was a blessing.
To the gangs in urban communities, do you really know how much power you guys can have? If you can run an organization doing something negative, just imagine if you guys did something positive. Is this all you know? Or are you guys afraid of being different? Because if you are, then you have some self-reflecting to do. Because being different and doing different is never a bad thing. Honestly, it makes you grow into a better person. And life, it's about evolving the person you are today into a better person for tomorrow. And if we are killing each other, how are we evolving as a culture?
I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. If you pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's a blow made. And they haven't even begun to pull a knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.
Word. This for all the Panthers that rise. Word. I'm unforgiven since Dr. King was shot. Word. To the game, I love everything that Malcolm brought. Teaching us everything that Elijah taught. 60 years on the front line, Mr. Farrakhan. Showing us that this a race and not a marathon. Codeine and pills, them the scripts you on. Damn, America the new Babylon. Celebrate every day that a side of escape. I ain't shed a tear at my mama, father wake. I curse those that cursed our mother. How you say you love God, don't even love your brother. Yeah, but everything on the set though. Till them crackers grab you, get you to flip on your set though. Use a gun for my knowledge, I got a clip full. Can't raise your child, but you can raise up a pit bull. I know.
Don't tell me you're a good father and you don't have any community interest, no community concern. Because once you provide a child with life, then you gotta look at all aspects of life and become intimately involved with the development and nurturing of that.
You still chasing bags, you ain't catch 'em already. Gang, that's like these niggas' whole vocabulary. They don't listen to hoe, they still posting the money. Racks to your ear, where I'm from, couple hundred is money. They counting them 20s, captions I'm supposed to win. But you don't own the house that you posting in. Hove told you he ain't know what else to say. I'ma tell you it's okay to go Eric Benet.
You'll never be a happy woman dogging your man out.
You still a real nigga.
He's not a man yet, but he will be. But if you keep on dogging him, you won't have nothing, and you'll end up being a lesbian at home with yourself, with no man by your side because your damn mouth is what it is. It's a sneak.
I know. You still a real nigga though.
And a man can't live under that because he got enough hell on his head as it is trying to function in a white man's world. And he needs a wife that has compassion and understanding, and that's the value of the MGT. The MGT is supposed to make you a woman to help you make a man for God.